Okay, we're here at the Jacob Hanky farm on the Mummersburg Road here in Gettysburg. And we're going to look at this house here, which was used as a field hospital. The Mummersburg Road, which we're looking at now, was actually a road that Roads Division passed by on their way into Gettysburg on July 1st, 1863 in the early morning hours. As General Roads passed into Gettysburg in this direction here, and of course to the right, Heath's division on Route 30. They passed by this house, and then of course about I'd say it's between 6:30 and 7 in the morning, and then of course by 7:30 the battle had been in full scale over on Harris Ridge and by the Lutheran Theological Seminary. Now, by the end of the first day, as the battle lines were drawn, and the Confederates began to take the western end of town and actual town itself, the Union retreating to Culp's Hill and Cemetery Ridge. As those battle lines began to get drawn behind Confederate lines of the ground that they had taken, they began to set up field hospitals at different houses in the town, this one being one of them. And these houses were set up temporarily as dressing stations. Soldiers could wander back wounded from the battle to these stations and be treated for wounds, though often not right away. These homes then became, as the injuries and the casualties mounted, they then became actual field hospitals where operations were taking place in the houses as well. So this is one of the better kept field hospitals. It was primarily a field hospital, a dressing station on July 1st that turned into a field hospital as the battle lines became more and more clear and casualties began to mount. Again, this is the Jacob Hanky farm. It was the scene of Roads Division passing by on early morning of July 1st, 1863. And then, of course, as the battle at the Lutheran Seminary and Willoughby Run and into the town began to happen, the lines were drawn. Injured soldiers began to filter their way back to homes like this one in the town that were being used as dressing stations and field hospitals. I also would like to make a note that on July 4th of 1863, when General Lee and the Army of Northern Virginia retreated, this was one of the many retreat routes out of town. As we're looking at the road up there ahead, they came in this direction toward the camera, and then all the way down to the Mummersburg Road, where they then met up as they went off to the left to Cashtown and then through the pass. So again, this is a field hospital of the Jacob Hanky Farm.